You let me shoot him! Never shot anybody before today, and now I've gone and shot my boyfriend. I mean, my ex-boyfriend. Ex in more ways than one, I suppose. Oh, God! And I couldn't even finish him off. I needed your help to do it. Now he's dead, and I'm to blame. Still, I pulled the trigger. The choice was mine. I could have let him live. Now he's dead, and the only memories I have are of him begging for his life. I need to find the people who steered Isaac wrong. The people who were really responsible. Neelius, Dorsey, and Liberty Buchanan. Will you help me find them? You can count on my guns every step of the way. Of course. Good. You've got yourselves a bargain, Rangers. We should go after Neelius Dorsey first. Isaac said he headed west into the mountains. No doubt he plans to hole up at one of the old resorts from before the bombs fell. I don't think we're ready to face him yet, though. Neelius will be dug in, I expect, and he'll have all his best people with him. He only left behind the expendables in the garden.
I thought she said she was gonna follow orders, not give them.
For now, we should head back to the sheriff.
Howdy, Judge. How's your heart? Still colder than a well-digger's ass?
Marshal Quan, impertinent as ever, I see. Rangers, a privilege to finally meet you. I am Magistrate Silas Watkins, the city's judge and administrator of justice. Do you need advice in a matter of law? They are the only instrument of justice we need. Serious offenders die by exposure. Sometimes, I might grant a reprieve after frostbiters claim their extremities. Oh, to the contrary. It is more merciful than the punishments meted out by the mountain clans or the gangs of the plains. If we did any less, they would see our nation as weak. And in Colorado, weakness is death. As much as we might long for the world before the bombs, when justice was not so cruel, that is not the world we inhabit.
And let's be honest, Judge. You kinda like it too, don't you?
No, I do not. I only do what the law commands.
And since you're the law around here, I guess you're your own boss.
I follow principles set forth at the second founding of this city, as you know very well. Without our laws and the penalties to enforce them, we're no better than the Wastelanders. Proceed. His crimes are still severe. He was part of the Dorsey uprising. He caused significant property damage. His actions diverted marshals from responding to reports of attacks, magnifying the harm the Dorseys were able to inflict. Argue a case, and I might show lenience. Mercy. I do not see the word in my law books. The Patriarch has charged me to dispense justice, not mercy. My concern cannot be for his mother. It can only be for the law. Regrettable, but he chose this path, not I. You wish to compensate the city and the owners of the damaged properties for their losses. I can facilitate that. That's the price in Colorado dollars. Understand that the law cannot wait until you have the means to pay. The boy will go to the pillory soon. His time is short. Indeed.
Always got a smile for the marshals and never piss them off.
I think we should pull some marshals from
Far away,
Broadmoor,
though.
put them here in
Of course, if they're
downtown.
up there,
If an enemy gets all the way to Broadmoor,
I like your style, Rangers. I asked for a favor and you came through for me. No more Darcys in my city, and everybody can walk out their doors again without getting shot. Some of my marshals weren't too sure about you, but I see now that they were dead wrong. Old Saul always knows best. Damn right. It's in all our interests to keep this city safe. Now, before I forget, let me introduce you to Hope Emerson. She heard all about you coming to town and she wants to join up. Ain't that right, Hope?
Pleasure's mine, Rangers. Ran the lockup in a little town called Amity on Colorado's eastern border. Figured I could do the same thing for you at your HQ, assuming you'll be arresting people now and then.
Amity got flattened by the scar collectors a while back, so Hope came west. Been trying to get her to join the marshals ever since, but she keeps turning me down flat. We have some differences when it comes to crime and punishment. But that aside, she's smart, honorable, and should be an asset to your organization.
No problem. I'll be here.
So, back to business. Did you find out how the Darcys got into town? Figures. That rat slinked into town about 5 years back, and the patriarch, God love him, offered him a place to set up shop. Been nothing but trouble ever since, so him making a deal with the Darcys doesn't surprise me in the least. In fact, I had a hunch he might be involved, so I sent my best man over to his nightclub, the Little Vegas, to search for a connection. Haven't heard back from him, though, and I'm a little worried. Say, what if I asked you Rangers to go to Little Vegas and check up on him? And if you happen to find proof that Brago helped the Darcys while you're there, well, feel free to cuff the bastard and haul him in. Take down Brago for me, and I'll make sure your HQ gets the best-equipped armory this side of the Rockies. Guns, ammo, armor, the whole shebang. The marshal I sent to the Little Vegas is named Delgado. Family man and the best inspector I've got. Keep him safe, and I'll owe you another favor. Always a pleasure, Rangers.
Thanks for talking to me, Rangers. And I'm grateful to Daisy for the introduction. I hope I can be of some use to you. Are you looking for someone to run your brig? Certainly. What do you want to know? No. And the people who do are usually sickos who get off on bossing around convicts and making them squirm, right? Well, that's not me. I promise you. I became a jailer after getting locked up myself when I was a kid and seeing the job done wrong. We expect the law to be fair. From arrest, to trial, to sentence. But too many people forget that incarceration is part of the process. A big part, and often the least fair. People in jail are there to learn from their mistakes. In a bad jail, all they learn is to mistrust the law and fear their fellow man. I want to make your jail a good jail where everyone is treated fairly, regardless of their crime, and everyone has a chance to improve themselves. It's not there anymore. Scar collectors rolled through and took everybody they could catch for slaves. Then they burned the place to the ground. I led a caravan of survivors to Colorado Springs, and I've been here ever since. I respect Daisy's determination to keep Colorado Springs safe, but I don't agree with her methods. They're too savage. Take the pillories, for example. The marshals shackle prisoners into them for the smallest of crimes and leave them exposed to the cold for hours. They lose fingers and noses and ears to frostbite, if they survive at all. What does that accomplish, other than cripple them and mark them as criminals for life? After that, how can they become good citizens? How are they to believe that the law is fair? It turns my stomach. Daisy tells me you've been tireless fighters for justice in Arizona, settling disputes, breaking up gangs and militias, putting down a plague of robots, and that you're here in Colorado for the most noble of reasons, to save your people back home after a terrible disaster. I hope she wasn't blowing smoke, because she made you sound just like the sort of heroes I want to work for. Great. So what do you think? Can I join you? Thank you. I'll be there as soon as I make my goodbyes here. Looking forward to working with you.
Rangers, what brings you here? Excellent. This is the cost in Colorado dollars. This is irregular, but it is within my powers to grant you full custody of Austin Peace. Any further infractions he may commit are the Ranger's responsibility. I would recommend keeping him out of trouble. You should inform the boy. Best he hears the good news from you.
Still here. Now looking forward to what comes next.
What? Are you serious? You really saved my life and I get to be a ranger? Soon as they let me free, I'm going straight to your headquarters. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Clean guns, scrub toilets, you name it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You Rangers are heroes. I'm gonna tell everyone what you did for my son. Thank you. Thank you.
This is Corporal Gonzalez at Ranger Command. Who am I speaking with?
This is Rosie Wong at the Sands Lux Apartments. The tap water's brown again.
That's not really our department, Ms. Wong. Can I,
Then you go arrest whose department it is. I'm trying to run a business here. My tenants have a right to clean water. You have to get someone here and stop this thumping. Well, it's not so much a thumping as a throbbing. Kind of like a raw, raw. Oh, no, actually, it's more like a raw, raw.
Ms. Wong, I have another call. If you could just hang on.
Rangers. This is Daisy. Sounds like you're at the Little Vegas, judging by all that noise in the background. Remember, your first order of business is to find Delgado. Maybe somebody in there has seen him. While you're at it, if you can prove that Brago made a deal with the Dorseys, feel free to take that bastard down. Best of luck, Rangers. Daisy out.
Please, enjoy your time in our elegant establishment.
What's your favorite song?
Gotta
Hope
be
you hit the
Sex Dwarf.
jackpot.
It bops so hard.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Shit!
No more gambling for me. I learned my lesson.
Why me?
Hey, you pallies. Try your hand at a game of luck and skill? Roulette's the name. Drop a bet on the table, I spin the doohickey, and you win big if the ball lands on your choice. Red or black pay even money, but zero pays 10 to 1 if you've got the stones.
These stairs lead to Mr. Brago's lounge. He said I should let you guys through. But don't even think about messing with that computer behind me. I got one job, and that's guarding that computer. And if you was to mess with it, well, that would be a very bad day for you, my friend. A very bad day. That is the computer that controls the ventilation system. And I have to guard it because it's broken, and there could be real trouble if anybody said it wrong. You better not be, because if you were to set the fan to off and the heat to max, which isn't supposed to be possible, but right now it is, the furnace could catch fire and burn the whole place down. So I'm not leaving my post for anything. Well, maybe if a fight broke out I would, but nobody would be stupid enough to start a fight in Mr. Brago's place, would they? You're not gonna say I said any of this, are you?
Hey, remember how I blew that Dorsey's brains out? Still got some on my shoes. Hell yeah! 168! 168!
Ooh! What are you runts doing in here? This is a private party. None of your fucking business.
Oh, they're mercs. Happened to be in town when the Dorseys attacked, so we paid them to help us out. Nice to see him putting the Patriarch's money to good use.
Yeah? Well, you picked the wrong room. Ain't no Delgado here, and no marshals neither. Oh, so you've got some cojones. Well, if it's a fight you want, the local 168 are happy to oblige. Yes! Good! Good!
Let's make this quick!
to rumble? Let's go!
Thank you kindly.
I'm working here!
Returning to duty.
Much obliged. That'll do nicely. Thanks.
happens. Oh, hey, Quan. Looking for a good time, I assume?
Sorry, Ken. Me and my friends are here on business today. Rangers, meet Kendall, Colorado Springs' finest purveyor of sins of the flesh.
Delgado. You know, that name sounds really familiar, but remembering is going to be hard work. The kind of work a man should be paid to do.
Kendall, you predictable son of a bitch.
I need serious cash. Any less and it isn't worth the risk. Sure, okay. I don't like straining my memory anyway. That's my name, yes. Excuse me a moment.
You really shouldn't ask him about that. He had a misunderstanding with Mr. Brygo, and they cut off his junk. Smooth like a Ken doll. Get it? Makes him a great pimp, though.
Yeah, okay. Bye. Oh, you again. What can Kendall do for you now? Shit! I knew I should have asked for more. All right. Don't tell anyone I told you. But Delgado was sniffing around the club, asking too many questions about the Dorseys. Last I saw, Charlie Knowles was pulling him into the back rooms behind the bar.
God damn it. Now Daisy's gonna want Brygo dead, and she won't take no for an answer.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
I told you, Mr. Brygo gave me instructions to let you ranger.
Ah, it's you, Red Hats. I was wondering when you'd come to see Charlie Knows. Farron Brygo's capo, leader of men, hero of the Battle of Two Buttes, savior of St. Elmo, and friend to everyone worth knowing. Welcome to Little Vegas. All those and more. I have plenty to tell you, Red Hats. All you need is working ears and an open heart. Charlie is a friend to all, and all know Charlie. So what can Charlie do for you? Well, ain't you a clever seed of Red Hats? But let's not be rash here, yeah? The only way you're getting past that door is through a hail of bullets. And no one wants that, right? Look, it wasn't Mr. Brygo who conspired with the Dorseys. He's not that stupid. But a little bird told me it was someone in our organization. I can give you a name. All you gotta do is prove this guy was acting on his own. Way I see it, everybody wins. You get your culprit, and we don't get in trouble with the law. Once you clear Mr. Brygo's name, I'm sure he'll release Delgado. Look for our man McTavish at the machine shop, near Pillory Square. I don't care what you do to him. But if you can come back and prove the rest of us weren't involved, I'm sure we can make a deal, yeah? Also, I didn't tell you this, Red Hats. Until next time, Red Hats.
If it Aspen every year, I'm for sure gonna get an invite this year.
I've never been to
Ugh, so gaudy. So ostentatious.
You've never been? You simply must.
You want to pay for it?
fucking feet hurt.
Ugh, tell me about it. Killing me.
I am so tired of just standing here.
You know it. Sometimes, I wish somebody'd stock something just for the variety.
Either that...
Ah, Rangers, what a pleasure. I heard you were in town. It must be, what, 20 years since we crossed paths. Not that any of you would remember that, of course. You were probably just kids when Vargas and Angela Death and the rest helped me save Vegas. And I hear we have you to thank for Cassidy's fine clothiers being back in business. My capos and I thank you. If not for Cassidy's, we'd have to settle for second-rate suits from the bazaar. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm Farron Brago. Welcome to Little Vegas. My recreation of the glories of the town we lost. Perfect, isn't it? You haven't heard the story? Hey, I'll never forget it. 20 years ago, Vegas was being overrun by robots. A nightmare. Then Angie and Snake and their squad showed up, guns a-blazing, and saved the day. Heroes, every one of them. Helped me consolidate control of the city, too. Of course, 15 years later, the robots came back and destroyed everything. But you know all about that. They attacked you, too. Anyway, that shared history makes me happy you're here. I hope you'll enjoy your stay. I'm glad you think so. You should have seen it 5 years ago. Nothing here but the walls, and half of them were falling down. We really worked hard to get where it is today. But enough about me. How are things with the Rangers? Is General Vargas still in charge? I'd love to give him my regards. We owe him and his team a lot. Rangers, you're disappointing me. I already know Vargas died saving Arizona. He was a man of honor, who would do anything to help the people he'd sworn to protect. But now I'm glad he's dead. It would have broken his heart to know the next generation of Rangers were liars. And pointless liars at that. Now, what can I do for you? Ah, yes. Had that painted for my office back in Vegas. Before the robots came. Not a bad likeness, eh? Thank you, Rangers. That's very flattering. But really, it's not so much that I haven't aged, but more that the cares and woes of running Vegas back then made me old before my time. Since I've come to Colorado, I feel 20 years younger. Certainly. Ask away. What? I don't want those kind of connections. Murder in the streets is bad for business. If I were you, I'd be looking for someone with a grudge against a patriarch. Not exactly a short list, I know, but... He does odd jobs for me, but he's his own man. He has his own business. I don't keep tabs on him, if that's what you're asking. If he's the one who let in the Dorseys, then do what you need to do. Bastard's a traitor. What a shame. Nothing I like more than a good grilling. What else can I do for you? Like I said, 15 years after the Rangers saved us, the robots came back. Deadlier than before. We held out as long as we could. But without help from the Rangers, the end was inevitable. As to why we came to Colorado? Well, we heard some rumors of the good work the Patriarch was doing out here. Creating a stable, prosperous society. That's exactly the kind of environment a business like mine needs to flourish. So we packed up our roulette tables and hit the road. I know any attempt to recapture the past is doomed to failure. But I had to try. It's not quite Vegas, but it's close. And since I can't go back, this will have to do, won't it? And besides, the customers don't know it's a pale imitation. To them, this is paradise. All of Sin City behind one door. Good luck.
Hey, where's Paulie lately?
You didn't hear? He got promoted.
No shit. Go on.
You stowed away. I love dancing in this place.